Okay, welcome back to the Tuesday show on UltraChenTV. We are continuing with our Twitter actually plays UltraChenTV is what we're calling it now.
Yes.
Probably just change the name on it.
Okay.
But again, we didn't have enough topics to talk about. There just wasn't that much going on this past week.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So as a result, we opened up the show to questions from viewers. You can ask questions on twitter.com/UltraChenTV. We haven't really been checking Gmail, actually, now that I think about it.
Yeah, but
But
to be honest,
only gotten a couple. So.
yeah, and to be honest with you, we probably have enough questions now to last the rest of the show.
Way too many questions.
So you can send in questions right now, but chances probably are we will not get to it.
Yeah.
So, well, I mean, for example, like this next question,
Yeah.
we could probably talk about for hours.
Oh, I'm sure we
hours,
could. I'm sure we
hours,
could.
right? So, can we discuss the socioeconomic of Pakistan?
Now, I appreciate the idea here, but, I mean, the socioeconomic?
I know, right? What is even
What
the
does that mean?
The socioeconomic.
Especially, it's two words, apparently. Socioeconomic.
Yes.
I don't know what that means.
And it's not like a lot. It's not like a plural concept. It's
Apparently.
the one.
There's
the
only one.
One socioeconomic. So,
That's right. I'm not sure what that is. So,
Yeah. So yeah.
we'll have to move on as a result.
Yeah. Exactly. Okay. All right. So Tony asks, Maine's jury in AE. Why do you think that there is a jury has never had a good showing at a major? There's been a couple.
That's not accurate.
Edmond did well at a West Coast Warzone. Juicebox Abel has done well with jury.
Dude got 9th at Evo,
Yeah.
by the way.
Yeah.
With Abel as well, but with both characters.
But of course, there's not a lot of juries out there.
True.
There's just not. And
Right. I think, I feel like Weirdo Neo got top 8 at, like, SCR or something.
oh yeah. And why is that? I
We've
mean,
talked
it's-
about this a little bit,
yeah.
a few times before, but for whatever reason, we think that Jurig, Hakan, Oni, and Evil Ryu are all pretty good characters and have all been pretty good characters since they've been out. But for whatever reason, they just haven't been picked up very much. Relatively recently now, Oni and Evil are getting played finally, but that took a couple of years.
Right. And weirdly enough, Hakan and Jury are still older, and they just didn't get picked
Yeah.
up. I mean, it kind of reminds me. Someone asked a similar question to me. It's like, why do I think that Abel isn't even played that much anymore? Right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird. Some characters just kind of drop out of favor a lot of the times. And honestly, I think one of the things that makes Jury a little bit uncomfortable for a lot of people to play, because she does require button holds
Yeah.
to store fireballs and stuff, and it's probably a little more work than a lot of people want to do in Street Fighter. You know, I mean, if you're a Marvel player, then you're doing that with Zero all over the place and with, Virgil and stuff like that. So, but in terms of Street Fighter, it's probably just not something as comfortable as a lot of people want to do. I mean, Hakan's kind of the same way. He's got all this weird focus dash
mechanics.
stuff like that. So,
There's
Yeah.
also the thing that there are, 39 characters in that game, and most of them are viable, and there's just about every different playstyle that you can get without bringing in like air dashes and all
Right,
sorts of other
right,
stuff.
right,
So
right.
there are so many options in that game, so many viable options in that game. It's not a surprise that some characters would get left out even if
Right.
they are viable. Why Jury in particular, I'm not sure.
Yeah. Do you even want to?
I actually don't know what Japeo Expo is.
Yeah, exactly. So,
You got a question about that I can't answer?
yeah, I'm just gonna skip it. So,
Okay.
sorry. It said, can we talk about the Japeo Expo?
I don't even know how to pronounce it.
Yeah, exactly. So let's move on. What makes for a good character tutorial? I've been thinking about making one, so I just wanted to ask. Asks Mr. Lamont.
What do you think?
I think that one of the things that tutorials don't do enough of is just philosophy, character philosophy.
Okay.
What mindset that you want, what strategy? Because a lot of them are like, here's a good combos, here's
true,
the block string, here's a thing. But we've talked about this a million times with Street Fighter 4, how Dudley is an execution rushdown kind of character, Guile is a turtle character.
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like a good character tutorial would be like, this is a character. He's a defensive character. This is your mindset. This is how you would generally play. Like, if you're Guile, here are all your anti-airs and why you would
Right.
switch around between them and stuff
Right.
like that, Again, combos are just an extent. Like, combos are nice to know,
Sure.
but I don't think that they're paramount to a character tutorial.
Right.
It's more just about knowing the strategy and general pace and
Yeah.
flow of the character.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. Almost all the character tutorials you see out are all about the tactics of the character and the execution of the character, and very little about the strategy of the character.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that'd be great to see. Yeah, the other things are important, like you said, but I would love to see more of the strategy of it too. So that's my own take on that.
A lot of people here are saying that Eris has been making great Tekken tutorials, so that's really cool. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of people out there who have been trying to do tutorials more in the strategic sense than the technical sense. So that's really good. Yeah. Okay.
All right, next one.
So this Twitch plays is crashing. The Twitch stream chat won't work well. Yep, that's true.
Yeah, I think everybody's experiencing that, and has been for a while. I saw tweets from earlier in the day where people were saying they couldn't even get their stream started. So at least we're past that hurdle.
Yeah, exactly. I'm glad mostly people are on the chat now. So, okay. So, what games are you most hyped for at SoCal Regional? Asks Adam.
Okay. Probably most Street Fighter 4, because there are some players coming who I wouldn't have expected to come from East Asia that I'm really looking forward to. Second, it's probably between Injustice and BlazBlue for me. I know a lot more about Injustice than I do about BlazBlue, so I'll get more of an understanding about what's going on in Injustice. It'll be more interesting to me. But BlazBlue is going to be sick because it's going to be this huge tournament for that game, much bigger than usually happens, especially on the West Coast. Usually happens. So that's really cool. I'm really looking forward to seeing how that pans out, and now that I have some minimal understanding, seeing seeing it will be a lot more interesting. I think.
Yeah, I mean, for me, obviously Street Fighter 4, because I think the trailer showed that WoW is coming out here. Michael Tan is coming out. Yep. Premier Oni and Ken players.
Yep.
So I got super hyped as soon as I saw that. I was like, oh, sick. Because I just want to see them blow people up. Injustice is another one, because I know there's a few East Coast guys coming out here, and I know Filipino Man's been calling people out and stuff in that game. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen. I'm always curious to see what happens when the two different, when communities that don't get to play each other a lot finally get to battle it out. So
there are 4 homes of that game in the U.S., and SoCal is one of them, and this is a tournament obviously in SoCal, hence the name. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how that goes. It's going to be super cool.
Yeah. And I'm always hyped for Super Turbo, because now it's a Tournament of Legends qualifier and stuff like that.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
So I'm super excited about that. So.
Okay, cool. All right. I heard they're playing Marvel 3, but all right, let's go on.
All right. So, wow, can people hear the sirens out? I forgot to close the window.
Yeah, we live in Los Angeles area. Sorry. Any thoughts on the UFGTX Marvel Band Tournament and how the bands might shake out? Finally get some new teams on stream. So, if you are not familiar with this, at UFGTX, there is going to be a separate Marvel 3 tournament. There's going to be, of course, the main one. But then there's also going to be this tournament where you can ban a character in your pool. Yes. And pools have 16 people, which means there are potentially 16 characters banned per pool. But you don't know which character everybody else is going to ban, because you got to do it when you sign up.
Right.
It's not something you do there when you find out who's in your pool and stuff.
Right.
You have to do it preemptively, which means that there are all these interesting things that come into play. Everybody knows that, for example, Doom Virgil is really strong, right? Maybe we'll see a lot of that. But maybe you think, well, that is a really good shell, so everybody else is going to ban one of those characters. I am personally worried about whatever my particularly bad matchup is.
I hate Wolverine, so
so I'm going to ban that character. And maybe it turns out that nobody bans Doom. Nobody bans Virgil.
Because everyone had that same thought.
Right.
Exactly. It was exactly like when the Capcom Cup voting came out, and I made it a point. I was like, you gotta vote for Justin and these guys, because if everyone's like, they're guaranteed to make it, I'm gonna go vote for my favorite fringe player. Then, then none of them were gonna get in.
Right.
And that's the situation here. So, it'll be really interesting to see what happens. I have a funny feeling that the 3 most banned characters are gonna be Zero, Virgil, Doom. I mean,
You really think so?
Yeah, I have. I'm.
Even despite that little psychology in there.
Yeah, I mean, if I entered, I would ban Zero free.
Would you?
Like, yeah, that I just wouldn't even I wouldn't even question it. I'd be like Zero, I'm done. So.
Huh.
Because I cannot fight that character at all.
Okay.
That character just destroys me. So
Okay.
it's like whatever. But
Well, I know at least some people are thinking about banning other characters, like Tubaware is talking about banning either Hulk or Hagar, because he's particularly worried about getting scrubbed out.
oh, gotcha.
I guess he's worried about Stand H. I don't know why you're worried about Stand H if you're a good player.
Shots fired, dude.
No, but yeah. So I mean, people have these individual concerns that might ultimately outweigh the larger sort of concerns.
Right.
So I don't guess it'll be really interesting to see.
I think Doom might be one of the best ones to ban, to be honest.
Oh, I totally agree.
So many teams are centered around the concept of Doom that if you ban them, you might force them to play this completely different team. So
I think that's a really good call.
That'd be really interesting. Okay, so let's go on to the next one. So let's see. Talk about the status of characters that may need some more tuning in Ultra Street Fighter 4.
Well, we talked about that pretty extensively, I would say.
I don't think there's really anything we can add to that at this point. So, cause
that video is up on youtube.com/UltraChenTV, where we talk a lot about the Ultra Street Fighter 4 characters and the beta changes that were announced.
Okay, hang on one second.
I used to play online against Tubaware in Marvel 3 back when I was playing that game, and I played the Big Shell. I was playing Hulk, Thor, Hagar, Hulk, Hagar, Thor, depending. And so I got a chance to play him against him a lot. He plays Wolverine. Wolverine's one of the characters who can challenge them at the start of the round, better than most anyway. And so, I mean, he can start things off, but, you know, that's a dangerous shell to play against if you're not totally confident in where you are. So okay, let's move on.
Any winter ball predictions?
I don't really know much. I don't know who's going, etc.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's gonna be a pretty straightforward tournament.
Probably so.
It'd be awesome if Sanford called out more people.
That would be so sick.
Yeah, but for the most part, I mean, it's just got to be the favorites, right?
Yeah.
Chris G, Justin, and Dominion, Sanford. I don't know if there's a lot of West Coast players traveling to the event.
I know Ricky's going, but I know Justin's going instead of Chris G, I guess now. But I'm not really sure. Other than that.
Okay. Well, so how do you feel about 20 plus games at SCR? Good for the players/spectators, bad for people who watch the stream. So before we answer this question, I do want to note that Vi did say guaranteed every game will have some stream time.
Is that so?
Yeah, at some point in time they will all have it. So
did he say how many streams they have?
I gotta imagine there's gotta be like 3 streams.
I would think they'd have to have a few.
You can't possibly do it. So
yeah, absolutely. No, I think that's great. I really like that idea of having a ton of games. It lets games survive, quote unquote, that might not otherwise if we were limited to just 6 or 7 games. So I think that's really cool.
A lot of people are asking about specifically the Zeus versus Gamerby 1st to 7 that's going to be at Winter Brawl.
I didn't know that was happening, but that sounds really cool.
Yeah, that sounds really cool. I mean, I love Zeus to death, but I just got to give Adon the advantage in that matchup.
I don't know that I've seen it, but I guess in thinking about it, maybe Adon has the advantage. He probably blows Vega up once he's down.
Yeah, and the other thing, too, is that
well, who doesn't?
Adon has a good standing roundhouse, so he can kind of fight with the Vega pokes. And not only that, he's got Jaguar kicks. And it's going to be real. Vega's going to have a hard time. I mean, he prospers on keeping people out. And a Jaguar kick is going to get him in quickly.
Yeah, I would. That's how I would think it would go.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I don't know. I guess we'll see.
So okay.
That'll be cool to watch, though. Absolutely.
Okay. Next question.
Yeah, move on. How do you feel about Event Hub's tier list voting system? So on Event Hubs, you can now go and vote for your character's matchups in Street Fighter 4. You can say which matchups you think your character does well, and there's a whole list. It has every matchup, and you can fill in the numbers that you feel are appropriate. I think that's pretty cool. I like that it gives everybody a little voice to it. It's been fun to see what some players' matchups are, what they think about the matchups. Some in some cases I've been a little surprised. I posted up mine for Geef example and for example, and I think Clem posted up that he had like these totally different Geef ideas, and it was really interesting to see. So I like that. As far as extrapolating some greater tier list out of that, I think that's a little suspect. I wouldn't go that far, but that's a cool idea.
Okay, cool.
Yop.
Yeah, that's because. Oh yeah, okay, never mind. Let's see here. Well, that's not really a question. So this one, not really a question. What do you think of the Guilty Gear Johnny?
No, not Johnny.
Yeah, I know, exactly. I mean, I'm excited for it. I hope that, I mean, I do like the direction that they're trying to go, where they took out a lot of the crazy frame perfect stuff in there. I hope it does get a lot more people in it. I mean, it's just so sick looking. It's one of the best looking games, and like the intros and just all the really little touches that they're adding to it. The game just looks freaking fantastic.
I'm really looking forward to it, I have to say.
I mean, one of the interesting things about a lot of the I don't even want to call them anime games. I was having this conversation on Twitter. I hate that term. The ArcSys games and a lot of these games. A lot of times when you're playing them, it's hard to see what's going on.
Yeah.
Backgrounds kind of blend with characters. Things are flying everywhere. And I'm hoping that this new 3D, with the crazy rotations, like on deaths and stuff like that, and just like the fact that the characters seem to pop out a little bit more. I hope that helps. I hope that. And if the speed is a little slower than a lot of people are saying, which is kind of unfortunate because faster fighting games is always cool, because it's frenetic that way. Yeah. But if it gets more people in there, I'm all for it. So I want Guilty Gear Xrd to do really, really well. Of course. And I have a lot of false hopes maybe that it's going to be crazy revolutionary and be one of the biggest games. But
that'd be great.
Yeah, I can only hope. So
okay.
So let's see here. So this was a follow-up. Remember, he asked the question earlier. So if we absolutely need a question, what are some deep games that you feel like never got their due props by the fighting game community?
Oh, man.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot.
Dude, Dive Kick is the greatest example of this. That game was so deep, but it got pooped on by a lot of people, and a lot of people didn't even bother investigating at all, or they had these ideas about what it should have been rather than what it was, and blah, blah, blah. And it's a really deep and good game, but a lot of people didn't get to see that or purposely ignored it. But there's a lot of examples. I feel like Skullgirls is like that. I feel like Cross Tekken is like that. Injustice is like that to some degree. And there's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, the one that I've always said was Vampire Savior.
That's a great example.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, obviously there is a lot of Vampire Savior in Japan, and, there is a lot of, really broken stuff with Sasquatch and Zabel and stuff like that. But, I just wish it got more play here in the States. Yeah,
I guess I should say I'm talking about specifically North America, because it's not always the case elsewhere.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few games that I would have liked to have seen how they looked. I know that there's a lot of people who probably play these games who could answer these questions, but I would be really curious to see what high-level Cyberbots looks like. I would be super curious to know what high-level Rival Schools looks like. Stuff like that.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Move
Let's
ahead.
go to the next one. Let's see here.
Do you guys foresee old school games like CVS2, MVC2, etc. having a revival at EVO a la ST Tournament of Legends? Not really. And the main reason is the communities.
Yep.
It's the ST community that's making that happen. It takes a lot of work to run something like Tournament of Legends. It means that they have to organize things at tournaments across the country. They have to organize bringing people over from Japan. They have to advertise a lot. There's a lot of publicity involved. Money goes into it. All of those things. It's not an easy thing to do.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that ST is being at EVO this year is probably mostly the work of Bob Painter and Muffin Man and those guys. They probably put in 90% of the legwork. Also, probably working with X-Mania, asking them, hey, if we could get you into EVO, would you want to do that? And if that's the case, we'll talk to EVO for you and stuff. And right now, I mean, obviously, Jabali is trying to run CVS2 at the next CEO. So I mean, there's a chance there. There's obviously a community for that, but
Yeah, yeah.
you know, it really does take the leaderships of very, very hardworking individuals.
Yeah.
You know, and I've always said that. Like I've always said
That's
that.
what it
Like,
is.
I mean, let's think of. I've mentioned the sponsors thing, right? Like, it's not our job to, like, it's not the sponsor's job to find us, right? And in the same way, it's not the TO's jobs to include old games into there. You have to prove
Yeah.
to the TOs that your game is worth putting in there. So if you have this awesome CVS2 group like the ST Revival guys, it'll get into events if you could make
Oh
enough
yeah,
noise.
I mean,
So-
I had conversations with a couple of the Evo guys after the original ST Tournament of Legends about, man, you guys got to put in. This is me talking. You guys got to put CVS2 in. You guys got to do a Marvel 2 thing. Third Strike, please. And they said, sure, why not? But we're not going to do that. Like, it's not on us to design this thing.
Yeah.
They didn't design Tournament of Legends.
Right,
It was an
exactly.
idea that other people had, and they managed to find some time to fit it at Evo. But that was it. That's all that Evo could give them was,
Right.
let's try to fit some time in.
Right.
That's it. So if the communities can do it for Marvel 2 and CVS and Evo and Third Strike, I don't see why they wouldn't be in there.
And look what Smash is doing now. Smash, perfect example. They are a great community by themselves. That they have a lot of power on their own, a lot of momentum. And guess what? All the events are including them. And and like we said before, all the talk of is Smash a fighting game has all but
Pretty much dead.
disappeared. Yeah, all gone.
Yeah.
So
No, I don't really see that, but that's not to say it can't happen. It's just that I don't see those communities doing that yet.
yeah,
Okay.
they could.
They could.
Yeah. Any thoughts on better ways to integrate the casual crowd into events like the mystery game tournaments?
Okay. Not really sure what else other than mystery tournaments. I
mean,
know.
let's put it this way. That's basically what you and I try to do. Like
That's true.
That's what we do, right? That's why we commentate the way we commentate.
That's true.
Is because we're trying to get the casual people. I mean, if you're watching fighting games already, you've already jumped some hurdle. You know what I mean? So,
That's true.
but if we can get people, I mean, look, we've gotten a lot of comments from people saying, like, I have friends who don't like fighting games, but when you guys commentate, they're interested, they watch. I have significant others that weren't interested
Yeah.
when you know, and that's what we try to do. That's our goal, right? And that's something we decided. It's not something that I want everybody else to do, right?
Yeah.
Do whatever you want.
Sure.
I have no problems with that, but in order to get more casual viewers in there, there definitely has to be people who are speaking to them. And that's probably just the best way to go. So
Okay.
yeah.
Cool.
Slower appearance of Xrd has been attributed to increased hit stop on the moves. Also, some videos have been slower than others. Okay, I mean, that's kind of one of the things that happened with Blazblue before the Chronophantasm, which they said the game felt slow sometimes because the hit stop was so long.
Okay.
And in this latest one, they scaled it down, so now the game feels a little faster paced. So, who knows? Maybe when Guilty Gear Xrd hashtag, like, you know, retrofitted comes out, it's going to be they'll do the same thing, right?
Yeah, it's
So,
probably going to be some crap like that.
yeah,
For sure.
exactly. Maybe they'll speed it up. Then yeah, that's because the first mix of Guilty Gear XX was Reload, but it had the hash
little
symbol
hashtag
for it.
Reload,
Yeah,
yeah.
so it's just weird. Anyways, okay. Let's see. Back to Fatal Damage here. What characters are you looking most forward to in Guilty Gear Xrd? We'll
sweet.
provide footage for you. Oh, okay, cool.
Irish band. That's really cool. I'm looking forward to that. Now, I'm looking forward to Potemkin most. Shouldn't be surprised. Other than that, Bedman, he looks like a funky character. The movement's very interesting. Weird looking character just in terms of actual looks. But yeah, the movement for him looks really weird and interesting. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, Potemkin is definitely. I mean, he was one of my favorite characters. But as always said, once Accent Core came out, whenever you picked Potemkin, nobody had fun. So that's always my joke, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I stopped playing Potemkin. But I'm definitely interested in him. He's a grappler. I've always loved playing grapplers. To be honest with you, someone actually did suggest something to me that I kind of really liked, which was when Xrd comes out that I play Milia.
Huh.
Because I hate that character so much because she's a Vortex character.
Yeah.
You know how I feel about Vortex, right?
Yeah.
So maybe if I play her and I learn the Vortex, I can learn to fight it a little bit easier and stuff like that. And, you know, she's speedy, rushdown, button mashy character. Seems kind of like a decent fit for me, right? So, yeah, I'd be kind of interested in that character, in Milia, just to see how she looks in that game. So.
Okay, cool. By the way, if you do want to check that out, you can go to twitch.tv/FatalDMG. He streams. He has cool stream, very interactive with viewers. So
cool. Okay, so Kim is back here, is following up on his question. I think that the FGC has already enough player stories being created to keep it interesting. It's not a problem. So I'm trying to figure out then what he means. So he was saying, like, talk about how people need to be interesting, but he says that there's already enough player stories being created.
I definitely think that there are enough interesting people. I think
this is him responding to Kim. I'm sorry.
That's somebody else.
Yeah, my bad. So.
But yeah, okay.
Okay.
We definitely have a lot of interesting people in the community. There's no doubt about that. Yeah.
Okay. So, sorry, that wasn't really a follow-up question. Okay. With Shin maybe looking for a second character, asks Derek, thoughts on having multiple characters versus trying to push through bad matchups?
Man, it's something that I would absolutely be doing if I were still competing. It blows my mind that these very competitive people who are very intelligent and think about games well haven't adopted secondary characters for bad matchups. In Street Fighter 4, every character has a bad matchup or two, at least. And I don't know why you wouldn't do your best to address that. Of course, you should be able to fight that matchup with your main, because that's going to come up sometimes. But sometimes you're going to run into a bad matchup that you need to counterpick if you want to give yourself a slightly better chance to win. Look, if there's $10,000 on the line, giving yourself a 0.5 out of 10 greater advantage is a great choice. Yeah. I think it would be foolish not to do that. So I wish more people would do it.
I forgot who it was I was talking to. I think it was on Facebook or it was on Twitter. Someone was saying, I feel like if you pick another character for your bad matchups, then you're not pushing hard enough with your character or whatever like that. And I was just like, look, NGL Chris wouldn't have won 4 Wednesday night fights now if he did not start playing Rose and Sagat. Straight, just pure and simple, right? He just would not have won. Ken was not going to do it for him as good as his Ken was. Yeah, or is, I should say. And now look, going into SCR, he has this pool of characters that he can switch between. It's going to give him even a better chance. Street Fighter is the thing that made it different now than it was before. Obviously, when we played Super Turbo, there were 16 characters. So it was easy to have secondary characters because you didn't have to learn as much matchup. Yeah. So it's a little more intimidating now, but you should definitely learn more characters if you can. Sure. It definitely helps. So.
For sure.
Yep.
Okay. Talk about how you think the Injustice character tiers,
dude,
how those are going.
Tiers?
That is tough. I really think that's tough. The matchups in that game are still being figured out. Here's an example. It's considered that Green Arrow got blown up by Bane.
Yeah.
Okay.
Knew you were going to bring this one because I just watched that video.
Oh, did you?
Because you linked it at one point in time. Yeah.
It's been a couple weeks now. Just off the top of my head. But, no, maybe that's not the case. Because Saucy Jack's been doing pretty well. Better, at least, in that matchup that he did with others. Dude, and Bane, I guess, is maybe top tier. It's... I don't know. Maybe Max is just awesome.
I just don't think that there is any tiers right now.
It's just really tough.
The game has been so... I mean, obviously, there's some characters who probably need a little more help than others, but...
Joker is bad.
Is he still bad?
I think Joker's actually bad.
Okay.
But, other than that, look, I mean... I think Zod is awesome. I think that character is really good, and I'm surprised more people aren't playing him.
Dude, that one tournament, Harley Quinn did really well, right?
Yeah, Harley Quinn is a pretty good character for sure. I think there are lots of good characters. I don't know who I would pick out as top tier, to be perfectly honest. I would really have to think about that.
Okay. Oh, this is actually really good. This is probably a decent topic we probably could have covered, actually.
We probably should have covered this.
Mm-hmm. Little Mac in Smash Brothers Brawl. Yeah. I'm sorry, Smash Brothers Wii U 4.
Whatever it's called, yeah. Yeah, he looked cool, I guess. He had some, armored attacks, I guess, or auto guard, or whatever it's called in that game, and that looked cool. He has a little meter that he builds up. That was a pretty nifty idea. I'd love to see more of that in that game. I mean, I'm not terribly excited about playing him myself, but I'm excited for particularly that meter. I want to see like more.
What it does.
I want to see more of that kind of
I
thing
see.
in the game. Yeah, I want to see exactly what it does. It seems like it like increases the strength of some probably like special, like probably like the bees or whatever, toward B or some crap. But
Dude, I'm super hyped for him. He looked really, really cool. And I
Yeah.
mean, it's funny because I showed it to my brother and he was like, dude, he looks like a Street Fighter character. And that's why I made the joke, like, I wish Little Mac was the 5th character, you know, in Street Fighter, because he would have fit really well.
he would have.
What was really interesting, the one thing that I got out of the trailer is it looks like he's going to be really powerful, but it also looks like he's going to be terrible in the air. Because there was one sequence where he
really?
was like, "What are you doing?" Like you hear Doc in the he's like, "What are you doing out there?" Like you know, don't you know, or something like that. And they show him, and like the trainer is just lying there, and he like does his up B, and it like doesn't go anywhere, and he dies.
Ah, I did see that.
Yeah, so I have a funny feeling he's
Interesting.
gonna be super buff,
Ground based though.
but if you
huh?
knock him out, then it's gonna be hard for him to get back in.
That'd be a great design. It'd be very interesting.
Yeah, if that's the case, I think that would be really cool. So I don't
Okay.
know.
I like it.
Dude, everything about that game is making me hype. So
Me too,
Yeah,
yeah.
whatever.
For
So
sure.
it's yeah.
Okay, let's go on
I
then.
know we've gotten asked this question before in the past. I'm pretty sure. What are
Probably
other
so.
favorite genres outside of fighting games?
Yeah, presumably he means, or whoever means, video game genre.
Yeah. Of course.
Probably RTS. Maybe. Yeah, it's probably still RTS over MOBAs, but it's strategy game is what it is. That's what I play games for.
I mean, my second favorite genre used to be RPGs, but they just take too much time, so it's really
Yeah.
hard.
I used to play a
Although
lot too.
everyone keeps telling me I need to play Bravely Default.
I've heard very good things.
I'm probably gonna pick that up, so I'll probably play that. I love rhythm games, right? So, and I also am a big fan of puzzle games, in particular Tetris. You know,
Yeah.
so. But
I guess I should redo mine to just strategy games overall, because the games that I've sunk the most time into in my life have been fighting games, RTS, Civilization.
dude, someone just said that in chat. It's like, David, Civ.
So much time.
Well, let's just jump to the
And
next.
now MOBAs. So.
Let's jump to the next question because it comes right in. It's like the exact same thing. I don't know how that
What
happened.
other non-fighting games are you playing right now or want to play in the future? I'm playing Octodad.
Oh, you're playing Octodad right now. Oh, sick. Okay,
There's a Linux
okay.
release, so I'm playing Octodad.
Nice.
Let's see, what else am I playing other than fighting games? Really just fighting games right now. Like I said, I kind of lapsed on fighting games for a while, and then I just got back. I got back into them at some point.
Yeah.
Actually, it was the Injustice patch that got me back into them, and now I play a lot of stuff again. But I no longer play like League or Dota.
Right.
So.
Okay. Right now, what games am I playing right now? I am playing a little bit of Demon Souls.
Okay.
One of my friends just loves the game. He absolutely, he's the guy that we're the two old men of video games. So we've been playing video games forever. We hate all the new stuff. You know, we're being crotchety old men. But he loves Demon Souls, and so he bought it for me for my birthday.
Wow.
He was literally like, "Here, boom, play this, please, play it." So I picked it up a little bit just to try it out for a little bit. So I mean, so far. The thing about it is the game is a very deliberately paced. You have to be patient. You have to be very defensive because they designed the game that if you rush in, you die, like, fast. And, dude, I just, like, my favorite comment was Genesis. He was playing Lightning Returns recently that just came out, right? And he's like, dude, you can animation cancel all these things. And so that's how fighting game people play, right? Like, we find, like, when I played God of War, I was like, holy crap, I could cancel everything into everything. It's the best game ever, right? And, dude, like, there's just block, attack.
Oh, really?
Attack. I mean, my friend told me that there are more things you can eventually do, and I just haven't learned some stuff, but it's very slow right now. But he says keep giving it a chance. So.
Okay, so I thought a little bit more about this as
Oh,
we were talking.
okay.
I have been playing Civ 5 again. I've been,
Really?
yeah, that's true. I've been playing Majora's Mask all the way through with everything.
Oh, that's right.
I've been trying to 100% it. And I've been taking a little bit of time off to do that, but I have been doing it. And Papers, Please, also.
Oh, okay.
Which is a really interesting game.
One of my friends did buy me Gone Home on Steam.
Yeah.
But my PC is dead.
Oh,
so I can't
no.
play it right now. I've also.
Well, I definitely recommend playing that game if people haven't played that.
Yeah.
Calling it a game, I feel, is a disservice to it because it's
Yeah.
just a really interesting interactive story. It's really good.
I'm actually a little bit. I'm really far behind with RPGs. I'm in the middle of Final Fantasy 13-2, but I don't know how much I'm trying. Like, my interest level in it is waning a little bit. I just beat Tomb Raider a while ago, the new Tomb Raider game. I want to get Bravely Default. I'll probably pick up Strider tomorrow when that comes out, and I'll try that out. What else am I playing? Oh, I'm in the middle of Super Mario 3D World. And I want to pick up more games on the Wii U. I want to pick up NES Remix and Hyper Switch Force 1 and 2 and try those out. So, yeah.
Okie doke.
Yep. So there you go.
Okay.
Okay. Next one.
USF4 will be at EVO, which is great, but wouldn't the level of competition be higher if it was AE 2012 still? Well, maybe. I don't know. Maybe that's true.
It's probably true, but you know what? No one will care as much.
Yeah.
No one cares much.
Oh, well.
New game is out.
Mm-hmm.
No one will have as much interest into. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Because like all of us will be playing Ultra, and then we got to go back and practice the old version, and like we lose some of the cool buffs that our character got.
I can't play Hugo anymore, etc.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. That's how it always is. Everybody wants to play the newest version of the game. There are very few situations where that hasn't been the case. So.
Yeah, actually, Wonderful 101 is another game that I've been thinking about trying to get into because I've just been hearing lots of crazy things about it. They said it's like Pikmin crossed with like Bayonetta.
Yeah, I remember.
So that might be one that I might try to pick up at some point in time.
Okay. Let's move on then. Here's something to talk about at testermite.com. Injustice Online Tourney Prize
that's
is an all-expense-paid trip to EVO. Wow, pig. So maybe like, let's see. We'll click on it. No, I'll click on it.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. Let me.
Pigs win a free trip to EVO 3 ways. 3 winners. Character auction tourney bidding is open.
That's rad, dude.
Okay.
That's what a cool thing for him to do.
But see, so again, community. He's doing this, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, dude. The Injustice community, the NRS community, I think is really good for some of that stuff.
Yeah.
They've done a lot of cool things like this. Pig of the Hut, I didn't know about this, but that's really cool.
Yeah.
Really cool. So, oh no, I got something. Let me retweet that on the UltraChen account just so people know about it.
Someone mentioned something about Hearthstone. That is a game that I have purposely avoided.
Same here.
Because I know I will get destroyed by that game.
That's pretty much why I'm not playing it.
Yeah. Well, do you want to take a break real quick?
Yeah, why not?
We've been running really long. We haven't had a break in a really long time.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Break time. We'll be back soon.
Whoops, hang on a second. As soon as I do this, yes, we need a person who runs the stream. That's not me. Okay.